The time is 4 o'clock. We bring to you the news around Africa. Zambia's President Edgar Lungu is taking steps that could lead to a state of emergency following Tuesday's fire at Lusaka City Market. The fire followed other suspected arson attacks on public buildings. Mr. Lungu said the latest fire was an attempt to make Zambia ungovernable and that he would not tolerate such lawlessness. However, his spokesperson denied reports that an emergency had been declared. Critics say it is not clear who is behind the fires and accuse the president of an alarming slide towards authoritarianism. Opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema is currently facing treason charges after his convoy refused to give way to the presidential motorcade. The city market was gutted in a blaze that began at dawn and destroyed property worth millions of kwacha. A controversial Ugandan pastor, Aloysius Bugingo, has been summoned by a court to defend himself as to why he allegedly burnt copies of the Bible, the privately owned Monitor newspaper and NBS TV are reporting. Wameli Anthony Yeboah, the lawyer representing one of the complainants who took Pastor Bugingo to court, said in court that the action abused objects of worship. Pastor Bugingo has in the past denied allegations of burning Bibles. However, his own television station, Salt TV, has aired recordings of him calling for certain copies of the Bible to be destroyed. This is how some Ugandan TV stations have tweeted their reports. A truck carrying goods and passengers crashed in the Central African Republic, CAR, on Wednesday, killing almost 80 people. Reports say the vehicle was overloaded and speeding. The truck was packed with traders on their way to a weekly market outside the town of Bambari in the center of the country when it tipped over. One local resident said he often saw dangerously overloaded vehicles with people perched on them like birds. He said the authorities did nothing to stop them traveling on the country's neglected roads. The International Criminal Court, ICC, is expected to issue a ruling today over South Africa's failure to arrest Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir during his visit to the country 2 years ago. President Bashir is charged with genocide in connection with the conflict in Darfur. President Jacob Zuma's government has argued that the ICC's demands were in conflict with the country's diplomatic immunity law and that it has launched a move to withdraw from membership of the court, something that rights groups have criticized. South Africa's High Court has also ruled that the government had gone about the withdrawal process unconstitutionally, having failed to consult Parliament. This is part of a broader push by some African governments against an institution that they argued was unfairly targeting the continent and its leaders. Tourism in Africa is experiencing significant growth, adding jobs to economies and money to national coffers. There has been a tremendous leap in intra-African travel, with Africans holidaying in other African countries. The annual Economic Development Report on Africa from the UN's Conference on Trade and Development shows that international visitor numbers to Africa have more than doubled since the late 1990s and are still growing. But one of the most intriguing facts to emerge from this year's report is that African tourism is being driven by Africans themselves. 2 out of 3 international visitors to sub-Saharan countries come from within Africa itself. Currently, tourism accounts for nearly 9% of the continent's economy, but analysts say it could be much more if governments liberalized air transport and further relaxed visa regulation. That was Africa Today. I am Aghemerio Oaikhenan. Good afternoon.